Just
Good
watched it.
afternoon. Good evening. I look like I'm already a member of the Witness Protection Agency. I'm going to have to go turn on a light or something.
My hair
Um,
is still a mess. You're okay.
right. Um, so, whenever you decide to watch us, I hope you do. Today we have Justin, Omen, and Mark. Mark, this was your pick. Not Planet of the Apes. Jesus. Shaw's got me all kinds of mixed up. Yours was Tron, 1987. Jeff Bridges? Yes, Jeff Bridges.
And
Tron.
Bruce Boxleitner.
And Bruce
What?
Boxleitner.
Yes. Well, it has an amazing cast. So why did you pick this movie?
Well, I just thought it fit the theme of the sci-fi, and it was kind of this movie kind of tanked at the box office to when I remember it didn't get, but it was one of those that I think kind of fell into the same crack that like Blade Runner and some others did at the time. It was a little bit ahead of its time, and they were pushing the edges with the technology for special effects and using the CGI, but and then I don't know, I just like the story, and then it just kind of fit the whole thing with a dystopian future society, but taking place in a different kind of looking at it from a different perspective, instead of you're looking at these computer programs and how they're being subjugated and falling to the same types of issues that we have going on in the real world. So you're kind of getting that kind of dual perspective on things. So that was kind of my reasoning behind picking it. And I really enjoyed it when I was a kid. I thought it was cool. And the cabinet game for disc, not Tron, Disc of Tron. That was my game. You kind of at the arcade, you sat in this thing at kind of like a 45-degree angle, and it was just and that one cost 50 cents to play. So, but that was my game back in the day.
I remember playing that game. They had it at Showbiz Pizza when Showbiz slash which became Chuck E. Cheese used to actually be an arcade. Now I have no idea what the hell it is. But yeah,
It's
I
a
used to
mutual
play the
combat
hell.
zone.
It's Five Nights at Freddy's now.
It's no. It's always
just
been Five
teasing.
Nights at Freddy though.
I'm just teasing about the whole thing. That's the whole point.
No, it's fine to tease. I'm just saying it's always kind of been Five Nights at Freddy. Um, so this had an amazing cast. This really did for being. Yeah, it was a flop. 87. I didn't see it in theaters. I'm still
82.
Yeah, I remember seeing. I can't remember. I think I saw it in the theater. We were in Germany, but I remember more the video game, and then how because I remember playing the video game and then saying, well, how does this really relate? With the cycles. I'm sure that Mark remembers playing that with the.
Oh yeah, the light cycles. Yes.
Yeah.
The first computer generated thing you see in the movie.
Yeah. Well, the tank came one of the first ones.
I changed the title. I said 87. It's 82.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I saw the new one too. The old one's better.
I didn't mind. Okay. After watching both of them, because I watched the first one, and I'm like, well, they made a sequel. Might as well, I'm not doing anything with my life. Watch the sequel. I thought the sequel one was fine. Just for what it was fine. But we're not talking about that one today. We might talk about that years from now when we talk, do another whatever. One movie per franchise, damn it.
I
say this to you, Shadow, even though you're not here, because I am not watching all fucking 15 versions of Planet of the Apes.
No, when he was doing that, I was like, really? Well, how can I do this? I said, you have only of course, I know you missed a few weeks. We only have a certain number of movies. Try getting the best movies out there, not try to get the whole thing.
If you want to watch the whole franchise, just fucking pick a night and binge them. I just realized when we started, when Mark showed up, technically this movie doesn't meet the criteria we laid out.
I thought it. Well, I would count it as robots.
You're gonna count as robots? Okay, then it does.
It's computer programs. It's programs.
Yeah, I count it as robots because they're kind of robotic.
the MCP thing maybe was the master control kind of was an AI thing and all that too. So
Okay,
I don't know.
I'll give you
It
that.
was definitely before the technology in this movie was definitely for 82 was AI. I mean, we joked around about AI, but it was not a thing, and even still. So yeah, that's one. This one.
I understand. I understand the whole purpose of the list is to keep Shadow from picking some really bad movies.
Well, no, part of it was also to stop me from picking some post-apocalyptic movies that are not.
I have been more than thrilled to do Dread.
I'm still blaming Shadow.
Okay. Well, no. I mean, that was one of the things we were deciding and said, okay, let's try narrowing it down.
He's not here. We're gonna blame him.
Yeah,
exactly.
even if he was here, I'd still blame him.
No,
I know you. We know you would, Justin.
Yeah.
Shadwell, right? Shadwell.
Shadwell from Shadractica.
All right, so let's get down to some serious questions because this is not somewhat serious movie. What do you guys thought? Omen, I'll start with you. What did you think of the effects of this movie at the time?
You know what? At the time, to be fair with this, is it was kind of weird to look at it because I mean, let's be honest. This was around the same time as Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, which visually is spectacular. This was also when you had Indiana Jones and stuff like that. This one was a slow burn, and as a kid, it was pretty slow for me. That said, is the stuff that they were doing with computer generated graphics, because I think this is one of the first movies with the computer generated graphics.
Yeah, because this predated like the next big one. I think would be the Last Starfighter, and this one
Yes.
predated that.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by for this one is in retrospect for that, and
Flight
the more
of
that
the
I learned
Navigator.
about computers, is I think the problem was is that this was a movie aimed at a certain age group, probably between 15 and 24, and it lost people below and above. I mean, now Mark and I are about the same age when this came out. We were both about almost 9 or 10, and so you know when you look at it, the stuff that's like, oh yeah, that's cool. Where they talk about the master control program and they talk about all this other stuff. Yeah, I'm familiar with that now because I've done it. But let's be honest, my parents, they'd be like, what are they talking about? And my mother did computer programming at the time. She'd be like, what are they kind of talking about? And then people like, myself when I was a younger kid, it's like it was slow. I wanted more action and stuff like that in the movie. More spectacle is a better phrase.
I think a big part of that problem is they padded a lot of that language with shit they just made up, and you can always smell that stuff.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but the fact that they were still bringing up some of the stuff, I still thought was kind of cool. So that there was that part, but when it starts talking about going out into the pre-internet as it was going out and collecting programs, and the fact that it says, "Oh, I got an accounting program," and then tries putting them in the game, and it was it says, "Well, I'm headed for the Pentagon." I mean, this is, we get this one, and at some point we're going to have to watch Terminator because that's what happens if the MCP took control.
Well, I think Terminator is somewhere on the list. It does fit.
It has time travel.
It has time travel. It has robots.
Robots. No, they're cyborgs.
Well, the cyber, yeah, but I mean, it's a robot with skin.
A living cybernetic organ. What does he call himself? Like a living cybernetic organism. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. But I mean, to me,
it's BS. It's not a cyborg. Cyborg has a brain.
Well, no, the cybernetic just me. Yeah. Anyway, but we'll have to get into that. But that's what I would. I appreciate it more the older I get, but it's a slow program. It's a slow movie. It's not one I'd recommend to someone unless you kind of want to see where stuff is evolving for things.
Right.
It was actually a lot faster paced than I remember it being.
Yeah, it was. I felt the same way, but maybe that's just because I'm older and I can start picking up on things that I didn't as a child.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't mind the pace of this movie. Once it got going, it kept a solid pace. All right, what did you think, Justin, of the graphics? I mean, you're a younger guy like I am. I mean, we kind of grew up with the graphics has slowly gotten better over the years. What do you? Does the graphics here hold up for you?
I watched the remastered version, so I'd say yes. But yeah, they were okay. Like you get a very retro feeling from it, so taking that into account, I actually find the graphics easier to watch in this movie than the sequel. I thought the
really?
sequel like the sequels, like, you know how that thing where all the modern remakes or sequels have that over polished look.
Yeah.
It was just too try hard. Where like this has like a very earnest approach to things.
You know what? I did feel
Which makes it feel more
cheated that they
real.
didn't have any vampires in the movie.
Oh yeah, I catch that reference. Grandpa's in this movie.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Okay, I missed that.
No,
the grandpa from Lost Boys was in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's the first one I did on this channel too. Oh.
What about you, Mark?
As far as what with the effects,
The effects of this.
yeah, I mean, I liked them. I appreciate them for what they were and what they did at the time. I mean, I really liked them at the time. I thought it was cool, but yeah, I know now it's real dated and cartoony, but I appreciate and appreciate for what they did and knowing the limited amount of computing power they had to pull off what they did with the CGI and everything, and then I also guess the practical effects. I know it looks all weird and wonky, but you know the suits that they were wearing to light up and they were all gray and everything. I guess getting that lighting and all that shit set up for that and to get it to transfer onto film at the time was a real challenge and a nightmare to get that to work at all. So I appreciate for what they did.
I also wonder if they can't, you know, how the old ones where they pencil stuff in, you know,
Yeah.
I wonder if they animated that in there. I don't know for some of
I think they drew it in like the Star Wars lightsabers and stuff. I'm guessing.
There's a making of that was going on YouTube that just kept popping up all week for me, and I didn't watch it. But but if I remember correctly from things I've heard in the past, most of those, no, I think it was like some documentary somebody made.
No. On this thing is they have the making of Tron. I didn't watch it.
Okay, yeah. If I remember correctly, most of those lines were neon, and then they were just amped up in like chroma key or whatever.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, it could be that. I don't remember. I watched the documentary a long time ago, but yeah. Yeah, I just know it was, I think from what I remember, was like the practical stuff with the lighting and all that was a real nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
and think about it, they were doing all this shit, you know, all this stuff was everything was being done on green screen, so they were really having to sell, you know, all the scenery and everything that was in the background without actually having anything there. So I thought it was good.
Yeah, the reason why that effect makes me think it's that way is because if you ever watch when they're turning, and like their helmet is out of phase, all the effect disappears.
Yeah, you're right. So, you're right. Yeah.
If it was drawn in, because you can still see the lining for it, right? But and if it was drawn in there, just draw on the line, right?
I'm afraid, you know, the making of Tron. Well, I'm afraid of trying to think of how the whole thing would go through. I did like the, you know, when they kept saying there's a user, and it was kind of thing was as if they were gods.
Yeah.
And, you know, the fact of like, well, are you supposed to destroy him? And then the MCP is like, no, you have to let him keep playing the game. You know, it's like,
well, I think that the master control unit wanted to destroy it the same way as a program. Wanted to treat users just like programs, right? Because there was a whole religious reference to the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because there was the whole renounce your faith thing at the. Yes.
The only issue I had with it is more of my issue more than it's going to be anybody else's. This movie gives me a headache to watch. And I was able to see everything, but it's like having a great big red flashlight or a green neon whatever flashlight. No matter what you do, you can't escape that light. So that was only one thing that really bugged me about but it was more of a visual aspect than a FX issue. I thought it was fun. I thought the tanks were fun, cool looking. I wish they would made a little bit more out of the frisbee battle game than what they did. Because once again, going back to the arcade game, back at playing the arcade, that was a main thing. That and the racing those were the two main things, and they had what the frisbee battle was less than like a second. It wasn't very long on the movie.
But I think the point was to show that it can be used as an attack attack, and then the other part is that it was also when they had the what was the ball that they had and they would throw it. No, I thought it.
Yeah, I remember seeing that game. I was like, how many games out of Miami can we put into this movie?
Highlight is the name of the game.
Highlight. Yeah, I remember people playing a lot of that in like Florida as a kid.
Yeah, that's where poor Lando Malari died.
Yep.
I thought them drinking out of the water, the power source for effects was kind of interesting. I had questions about that because he wasn't a program. Therefore, what the hell is he getting out of it?
Energy. He was still transformed into a digitized form, right? So
I guess. All right. So there was, unlike some of the other movies we watched, there's actually quite a few different characters in this movie that say, "Hey, which one was your favorite?"
What's her name?
Yeah. What was her character's
Lori.
Yeah, no. I mean, what was her character's name in the
Tron?
Yeah, no, in the her version when she was in the computer.
Yuri.
Yeah.
Okay.
CR3 or whatever.
I mean, come on. We have to like Grandpa. I don't care what it is. Whatever he's in, I still enjoy watching, just at least for his little bit. That was part. But my favorite's still Tron. I still like Tron the best.
Tron? Yeah. Bruce? Yeah.
Which is interesting because technically, while it's Tron is not the main character in the movie.
No, he's the program.
Yeah, he's the program, and that's he's important, but he's not. And not everything focuses on Tron as much. But
that's fair. What about you? All right, you said Yori. What about you, Mark?
I would either go with Flynn or I also like the character actor guy, that little old man. He was he just I thought he acted really well, and he had just his whole part in the grand scheme of thing. He kind of like a Frankenstein monster thing. Kind of looking back at what he created, and this is what his intention was, and it's become something totally not what he wanted for everything. So, yeah, I liked the little man's parts in it too. I thought he was good.
All right. I could be a smart ass and say I liked one of the conscripts. His name was Michael Dukifo. I can't pronounce his last name. He played the American Ninja in the American Ninja movies. He was the ninja.
Oh, really?
Oh, Dudikoff,
yeah.
Yeah.
Was he the one that died? When they.
What was that? Random access memory?
Yeah.
They say he in this movie he comes up as Conscript. So Conscript number 2.
Oh, okay.
Conscript.
Yeah, but I like. I don't know. I like Finn. I mean, if it breaks down to anything, at the end of the day, I like Finn's character. I would love to. I would at one juncture in time. I think owning an arcade would be fucking amazing. Now is not that time. It's like owning with me. It's like me wanting to own a cigar shop. There was once upon a time where I'm thinking this is going to be the job I retire to. Not anymore. The world has changed, damn it.
Well, you know what? We laugh at this, but there are retro arcades that you can go to play.
Oh,
yeah. And as a kid, nowadays though, is I think that you just put in money into a card and you play all day, which is great.
Yeah.
I've done that, but
there's a bar here that does a variation of that. You go there and drink. They give you a card, and you can go to whatever game that you want to play and just play.
You know what they call it nowadays, Connell? It's called Main Event.
I think it's here. It's of course you have
there are different ones. So.
Dave and Buster's, yeah.
Dave and Buster's Main Event. That's what I'm saying. But it's that I think is you have to add other stuff in there. And even when I was I guess it was 30 years ago, they started adding more and more. We have laser tag. You have you have it where you do everything: miniature golf, laser tag, video games. So you go there. I took a couple of dates, and it's amazing what 30-year-old women will, because no one ever takes them to that stuff, and they have a lot of fun. Anyway,
air hockey. I've been on a few dates where air hockey was a thing.
Oh, air hockey! I still love
air hockey,
especially if they wear a low-cut dress. Anyway.
I mean.
Anyway. Old man, I'm allowed to be.
All right. Did you guys have a favorite scene in this movie? Was there a scene that stuck out the most to you?
I don't care what anyone says. I still enjoy the light cycles so much with the sound. They have fantastic sound for the whole thing.
Light cycles are fun.
Yeah. With the as they're going through and so that's my favorite part of that.
All right,
that's fun.
What about you?
I kind of like when he's at the machine and they're like two points to that, like he's playing the game. Fucking Bridges. Jeff Bridges playing the game in the arcade.
It felt a little, kind of weird, but I do know for a fact is when you start getting high scores, and Mark may remember this in the old arcades, people would start going around seeing if you could beat the high score in certain cases.
Oh yeah, it was still a thing when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, cool. People would all get around seeing how far this person can get.
Yeah. They go to see him and they're all falling. And then he's like, oh, you guys are here just for my victory or whatever. And then he goes, changes his shirt and is all sweaty. Changes his shirt from the green one that says Flynn to the black one that says Flynn. That was fun.
This movie kind of makes me wish I was an adult in the 80s from time to time. Movies like this.
No, you didn't want to be an adult. You want to be a teenager in the 80s.
All right, a teenager in the 80s. Because
maybe the cusp of your 20s or whatever,
Old enough where I could do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Well, that was back in the day when your parents would say, hey, at least it was for me, be back by dinner. And that's the last, I'm like, all right, bye. Mm-hmm. My mother wouldn't see me for like 8 hours or something,
What about you, Mark?
Favorite scene? I would probably, my younger self would probably agree either the light cycles or the, fighting with the tanks and stuff was cool. But now that I'm older, I kind of understand and get the message, when he's finally has the disc and he's finally it makes it to his destination and the meaning of the disc, now kind of like freedom of knowledge is power. And when he's able to get the knowledge and free up the knowledge for the outside world and establish communication with the user.
When it all turns blue and you see that.
You should like that, Connell. That's the scene where they cast out all the red light.
No, like when he's in the actual beam of light and he's holding up the disc to send out the. That's my favorite. Probably now, just because I get I understand being older and stuff. The message and everything behind it. I mean, it's kind of a whatever view of idealized view of the world. Thinking we can combat all the evils of the world. The corporate greed, the lying, the stealing, the cheating, and all that goes on with freedom of knowledge. But it just seems like big business is always able to squash it and do whatever they can to hinder. But it's nice to think that the world would be a better place, if we could all, everybody could work together and have free knowledge and share things instead of being so greedy. But
see, Mark's remembering the heyday of the 1990s with the internet. I mean, that's kind of how it was at that time. But the other, no, I agree with you. This movie and apparently Black Hole bankrupted Disney almost, so they had to do a lot of.
Black Hole deserved to bankrupt Disney. Jesus, that movie was horrible.
But no, it was. But I agree with Mark. Is this one was more hopeful? Hey, look, they had a villain, which I enjoyed. They had the MCP, and I enjoyed the voice, and then the executive, the vice president.
Yeah. Black Hole was originally supposed to be rated R, and they wouldn't let him go all the way with it, and that's why it really got destroyed.
This trash.
Anyway, let's not get on the Black Hole.
I somewhere in the back of my head, I'm pretty sure we're going to end up having to watch the Black Hole.
No, it's a hard ban.
It's a hard ban. All right, we'll make sure.
It's up to you, Connell, but I will say no. I'm okay never having to watch the Black Hole.
Sorry. That movie was hot trash.
I'll mention a spiritual successor to this. Spiritual successor. Has anyone watched Ready Player One?
Oh yeah. I've read the book and I've seen the movie. I read the sequel to the book, the second one, and I enjoy it. God,
Mark, have you seen? Oh, sorry.
I was about to say, I wish we could review that, but it does not fit any of the.
I think it would count, I guess, if we want to. I don't know. That's up to you.
We'll talk about this later.
The creator, if we're counting this one with the AI being robots, the creator did create an AI replicant of himself to control the game.
Oh, and yeah.
So it will count under the same.
Ready Player One would count under the same concept.
Yeah, but
yeah, we'll talk about doing that one. We'll at some point. I'm pretty sure we'll talk about maybe doing that one.
Yeah, because I haven't actually watched the movie yet. So
actually, for Mark and I think that we'll remember a lot of it because they bring up a lot of games and stuff that we played as kids.
Oh God,
Mike, have you seen it? Ready Player One?
No, I haven't, but I understand the premise, and I just haven't read. I want to definitely read the book before I watch the movie, but yeah, I understand all the nostalgia things and stuff in it, but yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
It hits all the memory berries,
member berries.
Whatever.
Member berries.
As long as the movie's not dingleberry, I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to say, this movie, it's kind of toss up. I mean, jokingly, I want to say when all right, when I was a kid, I loved Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Mm-hmm. And there's a scene when he gets pulled into the machine, it kind of felt like when the kids got hit by the beam and they were shrunk. So I enjoy that just for different reasons. I thought when you hold up the disc, disc so he can leave the program, it kind of reminded me of the old Star Wars poster where you have Luke with the lightsaber doing that, and you have Princess Leia hanging on his arm like she's his lover, only to realize that that's his sister. So
that's how you can tell George Lucas was just making it up as he went along.
No, George Lucas. My mother pegged that at the very first movie in '77 because it's used so often in literature. So,
with that being said,
Before.
I don't know. If I was pinned to what was my favorite scene, I like the bikes. I like the concept of the bike scene. It just looks fun. It looked fun. If they ever want to reboot a video game for this movie, I don't think I'd bitch too much as long as they kept the bikes in.
I did you ever play the video game, Connell?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I lost maybe a couple, not as much as I played Ninja Turtles arcade or The Simpsons or a few others, but yeah, I put some quarters into this machine.
Okay, no, I was just curious.
I never did.
Oh man,
or at least not that I'm aware of. Now, Alien versus Predator.
Yeah.
If I had all the quarters I put into that machine, I'd have a mansion right now.
We could play the humans or the predators with 4 players. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was. I don't know. I jokingly say I tell my daughter I was like the last of the mall rats.
What was that one where?
What is your least favorite scene?
You know what? In retrospect, I can't think of any scenes that I really hated that would need to be cut because I think that they all have important. I mean, I think it was actually pretty well edited for what was there. Sometimes they go over and you're like, this scene adds nothing to the movie, but everything has its purpose, either finding out who the characters are or what's going on or giving an idea of what's going on there.
Even when Flynn steals a kiss from Yori at the end, and then it's used so she kisses Tron, and like he's like, what was that? Like the whole concept didn't exist to them. Even that little bit of
humanity.
Yeah, like it was world building, so it wasn't like skeezy. Like if it had just been the guy trying to kiss his old girlfriend or whatever.
Well, I liked on the fact that they, when they start referencing things, so many milliseconds or microseconds or whatever it is, we have so many, well, it's, they made it seem like it was so long when in reality it was, the blink of an eye. It was, there's just, I mean, I can't say anything negative about the movie. As a kid, it was too slow for me. As an adult, it's okay, but it's one of those that's hard for me to say, hey, son, sit down and watch Tron. You'll really like this movie. I can't do that either. But I said, if you want to see something different, I think that Tron is actually pretty good for seeing where the technology was in '82 up to the point, like, not that I don't technically think Abyss counts, but look at what the Abyss did with the CGI.
Wait, Abyss was the water with the alien.
Yeah.
I think I've only seen that movie once or twice. I don't, and even then, not the entire movie. I just knew like the woman from the
Groundhog Day.
No, it wasn't Groundhog Day. It was the woman from Robin Hood was in it. Like Kevin Costner.
I think she was in there. Wasn't she Andie MacDowell? And also in Groundhog Day.
I don't know, but I don't know if looking up.
Anyway, but no, the reason I mentioned is just to look at the difference because you had Last Starfighter in 1986, and then when was The Abyss?
1980. Oh God,
was it 88, 89? Somewhere around there. I think it came out when I was in high school. So
I think Last Starfighter was even earlier. I think that might have been closer to 84-ish.
I thought it was 86 or something. Let me go check.
But the Abyss, I think, was right around 89. So look at how far they came with the CGI in that short amount of time with what they could do.
Yeah.
I mean, even the, 82 to 91 with the Terminator 2. I mean, look what they.
Yeah, Terminator 2 was what, 1991? I think.
Or 92. 92.
Oh, really? Okay, it was 19. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yes, it was Andie MacDowell in Groundhog Day.
Yeah. and she was also in Abyss.
I don't know.
Yeah, so Last Starfighter was 1984, and there's a huge leap between those two movies, and
Right.
in graphics, and then the Abyss was what 89 there, Justin, since you're looking it up.
I'm not seeing it here. Was it?
Okay.
Maybe I'm just passing it.
Hold on. No, it is Mary Elizabeth.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
And a half.
So the Abyss was 1989.
Yeah.
So anyway, but just look at the differences between the two of the graphics quality, because you have Tron, which is very, very, it's one thing. Then you look at the Last Starfighter, and that you can see that the graphics went up a big jump there, and then you get, and then by the time that you get into the Abyss, you can get almost photorealistic.
I mean, as much as people like to bitch about George Lucas and his movies, he did a lot for
technology. He did a lot for the technology.
Yeah, than most other. I mean, you have the guy who did the Terminator movie.
James Cameron.
The Terminator. You have George Lucas for the Star Wars. Even Spielberg with Jaws and a few.
That was out of Lucas's.
You're right. Right.
He did a lot of stuff out of Lucas's stuff. Now, Andy McDowell was in a far superior movie than Abyss, Hudson Hawk.
Oh.
No. Okay. I was gonna say Michael Keaton's where he clones himself. She was in that
Multiplicity.
Yeah, I liked her more in that role than I liked her in
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day.
No, I mean that's no.
There is no better film.
Take it off. I'm just trying to say the technology for CGI was moving by leaps and bounds.
Oh yeah.
Then the next one after that, the next really big one is you get Terminator 2, which did it, but then the really big one after that was what Jurassic Park.
Yeah. I mean,
and then after that,
time, the goalposts kept, because directors got the studios behind it, and the goalposts just kept on moving. And this was practical magic for a lot of it. This was not, hey, I have a keyboard, let's see what we can pull off. Which I'm not saying anything there's wrong with that. But if you, for a prime example, some of you might like it, some of you might not. If you go back and watch compare the two Hellboy movies, the Ron Perlman's Hellboy, the first one, practical magic, compared to the reboot, which I like because it's closer to the comic books, where it was more computer CGI. There's a world of difference.
The thing is it's not that I'm against CGI. I think it's overused, and it there's that, how do you want to put it? There's that uncanny valley where it just feels like it's thrown in without really, feels. A perfect example is Avatar. I watched the newest one. I went, it feels more like a cartoon. Why did you spend all this money on CGI when I would have been happy if it just being a cartoon with less things in there? And just because it's the kind of thing.
Because I can do it. That's why.
Well, I can do it, but that's the point. But is it sucking me into the movie or not? That's what it really comes down to, and the story really matters no matter what you're doing for any movie.
It's like going with the Jurassic Park movies, then building that huge T-Rex in the original one compared to what they're doing now. Yeah, I'll sit down. I'll go to the theater to watch Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, whatever movie, because I grew up watching them. Whatever. But there's still a world of difference. And going back to this movie Tron, which is mainly CGI before there was CGI.
But not even that. You could tell, like, when they're in the cells and stuff like that, those are physical environments that have just been blacked over, then edge highlighted.
Yeah.
Right? Where now that wouldn't be. It would be a totally digital environment, and it would look super fake. Like, there was this thing, the producers for Godzilla Year One or whatever.
Minus
one.
Yeah. I still need to see it. I'm waiting for it to win the.
I need to see it.
It's good.
Well, they were making fun of the people who make the Marvel movies because they lose all this money, not knowing what they're going to do, are creating environments completely out of CGI when one or two props would be a lot less expensive and make the thing feel more realistic.
Well, the other part is like you're talking about it. You also, when you have less money, you have to storyboard everything to get it out there, and that's well, no. But I'm saying, but that's what you have to do. And the problem that they're having nowadays is that they do all the reshoots, which means all the CGI you've done up to that point, in some cases, has to be trashed. Yes, and that's the point of that is a little bit different. Is did any of you watch Mad Max Fury Road?
Yes.
Yeah,
they have practical, and then they have some of the CGI, and they blend them very well together.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm referring to. It has some, but it doesn't have as much.
They're making another one. I've been wanting to bring this up. I don't think me and you've talked about. There's a new Mad Max movie coming out.
Furiosa or whatever.
Yeah,
it's not Mad Max. I don't know. I'm afraid he's gonna miss the mark because he's not making a.
But there has to be other characters. The reason why I'm kind of interesting is there's got to be other interesting characters.
Well,
in that movie other than the raccoon kid.
The story. Max is always the background character. He's just the means to the end. It's the story. It's the story is really about everybody else besides Max. Max is just the means to the end. He's supposed to be viewed as like the man with no name. The wandering folklore.
Yeah.
Folk tales have been told about him. He's all these different places at all these different times throughout history. It's Max, but he's supposed to be more like a mythological folk hero than anything else.
Here's the problem that I have with a lot of it. The way that Hollywood is going and the way that they write the characters is, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm okay with them writing other stories with other characters, but you have to make a good character that's
engaged. And the original writer
is that a lot of times they don't.
Yeah, no, I get it. The reason why I'm kind of interested is I want to see what the other characters look like, and B, it's the original writers. They're not bringing somebody new.
Yeah, I guess it's George Miller. I'll give the benefit of the doubt, but he's getting pretty old now too. So I don't know what. Yeah, it's just like what's his name too, starting to f up his own. The Alien director, he's starting to fiddle around with shit too much. And make a mess of his own the IPs that he made.
Drinking the Kool-Aid too long.
Well, the problem with Ridley Scott is he's trying to do other stuff rather than saying what will make a great movie. And to be honest, Ridley Scott, I've always thought
he has hits and misses.
For Ridley Scott knows how to do visuals. But he doesn't. But he doesn't do a lot for me whenever it's characters. That's the problem I have with a lot of his stuff.
Two of his movies I enjoyed until I started looking at. I know this has nothing to do with Tron, but since this guy got brought up, Robin Hood with Kurt Russell. I thought Kurt Russell Robin Hood was good for what it was, but it could have been better. And there was certain angles of it that it's Ripley fully put on Ripley Scott's feet. The second movie he did, and this movie came out years ago, was Kingdom of Heaven. Magnificently gorgeous. Both Robin Hood and this movie scenery was absolutely gorgeous. The writing was weak.
Kingdom of Heaven would have been really good if it had been like a 10-hour miniseries.
Okay.
And there's apparently an extended version, which I haven't seen. I saw it in the theater, but that's the problem. Ridley Scott is a visual director. He's not so good at character, at pacing in certain cases. I mean, Blade Runner is a beautiful movie, but it's boring. I mean, as much as we've watched it, I think it's a great movie to look for the visuals and get a feel of a lot of our RPGs. But that's the problem with a lot of these. This is where, for Tron, I don't know if Mark has done this. When you start playing Cyberpunk or you play Shadowrun, that is kind of what you're feeling of. That's what they were trying to capture in those games, was the cyber, was kind of what Tron is.
Nerdy Ogre, Kurt Russell did a Robin Hood movie called Robin Hood in 2010, but it had some fairly weak action moments near the end.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah. I was realizing that was the name.
Yeah.
But going back to Tron, because that's what we should be talking about, at least for the first hour of this show. The only thing I think I would have took out, just because it didn't make any sense to me per se, is I get the two programs. The two programs find that source of power. Okay, they take drinks to power back up. But you didn't need an extra 3 second, extra minute of seeing Jeff Bridges' character lopping up the water as well. It made no sense to me.
It did for me because it was like a new experience. It was like the first time you had ice cream, or if you ever done a line of blow. I got that kind of, it's like
I just looked at
somewhere in between the two examples I give, right? It's like this is like an experience, really good, but like not super addictive. Like,
No, I agree. I agree with Justin. Look, he's used up energy. Now he comes back and he gets the. It does give him some energy because he's been that way. Yeah.
But it's that world. But I get the staying there for another second as like, this is really good. I want to keep doing this kind of thing.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that's a movie you don't. Yeah, Ogre. I don't see them ever being able to do another Robin Hood Men in Tights movie. If they do, it'd be like Netflix or whatever, and directly to stream it.
I think there was a sequel to Men in Tights, wasn't there?
I have no idea. Was it Man in a Thong?
Mankini.
All right. The other thing I don't know. There's not too many things to actually say that I didn't like about the movie. I'm kind of there with you guys.
It was just
really
it was a little slow.
It was just a little. It was slow in the beginning, but it sped up. It sped up well.
Well, what I'm going to say, how I'm up with this, it's a niche audience, which is why it didn't do well in the theater. I mean, it's aimed at a niche audience, and it's not a bad movie, but if you're not into it, it's not a good one either.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of enjoyed it this afternoon when I watched it, and it's the only time I've ever enjoyed watching the movie. Like, every time I've seen it on before, I've been like, oh, fucking Tron.
Well, when was the last time you watched this? Just out of curiosity.
Me? 1 o'clock this afternoon.
No. I mean before then.
At least 5 years.
Okay. Hey, Janet from another planet. I didn't realize that you were even out here.
Hey, Janet.
Hello.
So, I mean, there's that one. The movie has what it needs. It goes at a fast enough, but it is kind of slow. As a kid, I wanted to see a little bit more.
Now, Warner, the bad guy. What was?
I enjoyed him.
Name? Yeah.
Shrek.
Well, Shrek was the program, right?
Right. Yeah.
Sark.
Yeah, Sark. Yeah.
Sark.
And
his office.
Was it the same actor that did the MCP?
No.
Who did the MCP voice?
I don't know.
The voice
I like the voices for it. To be fair,
even I thought the guy that
he did.
Guy that was kind of the patsy guy too played the part good too.
His real world name in the show is Ed Dillinger. Shark was the one you see all the time, and he also did the Master Control program.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Because it's I'm looking at it on IMDb.
Okay, good. Okay.
This one of us is keeping each other honest.
Yeah. So what is the? I think we've talked about all that we can, because unfortunately there's not. It's the movie is simple enough. It moves at a fast enough pace. It's kind of slow, but it's not one of those like, oh God. Though I enjoyed it more this time than I have before. Just like Justin said. I remember, and maybe it was because all the times that I watched was on network television where they always break it up with commercials. And you went,
yeah, commercials. I mean, certain movies, the commercials can't hurt the film because, Janet, I'm feeling all right. Still tired. It has the commercials can break the flow of the movie.
Oh,
yeah, it's already slow enough as it is.
Right.
And then, speaking of which, just because my son finally saw it for the first time, I got The Mummy, the three movies all together. For
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah. For $8 you get all 3 movies. So
only two of them were worth watching.
But you know what? For $8, I'm okay if only 2 out of 3 are worth watching.
You guys start putting Amazon links in the freaking group chat.
I don't know if. Well, for me, it's hard to start putting things in there unless you guys really like the film. And then I think
it doesn't matter. It's a film chat.
I know. Well, you know what though?
Connell doesn't care.
Flash Gordon. Well, I'm starting to collect more and more of the physical media because they keep changing it, or they bring it on and then they remove it, and so.
Oh yeah, well, like it or not, Disney should have more physical media on their stuff now than they have in a while because Sony loves pumping out physical anything.
Well, but here's the problem I have with Disney is they keep changing it every so often. Every few years they go back and tweak it, which is a problem I had with George Lucas is why in the world, if Disney was smart, just a little bit different from marketing, I would say we're going to do the theatrical versions of Star Wars, the original that came out for the first 3 movies, not with all the extra stuff in there. And say, okay, look, this is the way George Lucas put it. I would love to see those as well because that gave me the experience of when I was in the theater. That said, I also watched when he redid it, and guess what happened then? That was the biggest movie of the of that time period as well, which was funny. That's how much Star Wars was loved. Even when I was in the Navy, they still had it. They said, "Oh, we're going to do a double feature," and everyone still went to go see Star Wars. We're talking what, 12 years after it came out? I mean, it's amazing how
his wife saved his ass so much in those movies.
Well, she did the first one. Empire Strikes Back, I think, was done by someone else.
Oh, I was about to say, I thought she did all 3 of them.
No, she edited all 3, but she divorced them. I think I don't know if it was during or right after, like that really fucked him up when she divorced him after Jedi. But yeah, she was his editor. And,
she was a fantastic editor.
She got his message, but he would listen to her and he would bring her, and I mean, she would bring, because if you listen to like some of the read-throughs and stuff about some of the dialogue in that, it was super like, it's like reading the old RPG modules, the 3-column text, text bomb, of real lengthy wording and text, it's like that. But his editor, his wife is editor.
So if you look at, well, I know that maybe at some point we'll do Star Wars. I was just trying to avoid it because it's the big thing in there, and I know Connell's like, it's like, Connell, get over your daddy issues, because his daddy issues only came up at the end of the movie.
Daddy issues, I would have to have a dad that stuck around long enough to go buy a pack of 6.
Wait a minute. Then how come you're not like Luke? I mean,
I don't want to watch it because I've seen it so many freaking times and it's overdone.
Honestly, if I did Star Wars movie, it would not be the 9 Star Wars movie. It would be the Han Solo movie. It would be the original, the first episode of Mando.
No, I've seen those. They're so. I mean, it's well. No,
we'll do the best one ever, the Ewok special.
Oh,
there's 2 Ewok specials.
Yeah, there are.
Yes,
there's 2 of them.
So anyway,
we joked it. Yeah, I don't want to watch it.
The Oatmeal Man's in there too. He's in one of them. Bradford, whatever. The guy that used to sell the
Wilford
oatmeal.
Brimley. You're talking about Wilford Brimley.
Speaking of him, I was watching the Super Bowl, and the guy from Kansas, the coach for the Kansas team,
he looks
like him. And I was making all kinds of oatmeal jokes during the Super Bowl.
Well, you know what? It's not that I recommend it, but my grandfather loved it. Was Cocoon. Speaking of
good luck finding.
It's got aliens in it.
I know that's my point. I'm not recommending it. I'm just saying that it had Wilford Brimley in it. So actually, if I'm gonna watch Wilford Brimley, we're gonna watch The Thing. That's why I want to watch Wilford Brimley.
Well, I don't know. Is next year fantasy movies or just Wilford Brimley marathon?
There we go.
No, I refuse to go down that chain because a couple of these asshats will make me watch like 5 or 6 more Chuck Heston's movies back to back.
I'm not gonna look. I enjoy Charlton Heston, I really do, but I do try. Look, last year was just because he did like all of the
religious movies, and it just happened to be April. I get it. It doesn't mean I ever want to be put through that nonsense again.
Well, we spared you from some of that. Okay, the only one that we didn't have was, but no, so we could do that. Let's see what the other. Here's my suggestion for next week because Dune's coming out. Let's watch the new 2021 Dune and talk about that for next week. Are you guys okay with that or?
Okay.
If that's your pick, if you're that's fine with me. If that's everybody agrees with it, I haven't seen it yet, so I'll.
Oh, okay. Well, the reason I mentioned it is it's a good time to go see it, and when does the movie come out? The first, the part 2.
Omen just wants to go get the special edition popcorn bucket. Comes out with Dune 2.
Yeah.
No.
He wants to get the extra small one though, so it'll fit.
Is it a sandworm? I hope the bucket.
It's a
sandworm. All right.
Let's see. I want to see what the special popcorn bucket is.
No, don't worry. I'm on my way looking it up right now.
Well, you need to post it. You need to post it in here.
So I'm going to share it so everybody can see it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a good.
Since you found it first, would you mind sharing it?
No, it's on my computer here. I think that you.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, that's it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You're not on the app. Is not on the.
Oh, I need a good.
I have to ask my friend what he's doing next week.
So, you're using a phone right now, right?
For me?
Yeah.
No, I have this iPad. Here's my phone so I can read stuff, but then I also have a computer.
Yeah.
A lot of times I use like a phone or the computer to whenever people are typing things in there. And stuff.
Well, because I'm using a phone for the camera, and it'll also do the mic, but I don't trust phone mics. I use a program called Iris. It's free. Mm-hmm. You just have it on the thing your camera's on and your computer, and it'll connect them so you can have the program. I don't know if you are interested in that.
Is that showing up on my screen?
No, you have to.
Not yet.
You have to.
I normally don't do this. Is why?
You hit present, and then it'll ask you to click the window that image is on.
So here's the other part with is Shadow said he probably can't make it next week, but he also said I'm going to skip if you guys can watch Dune. I went, really? If you haven't even seen it, why wouldn't you try watching? It's because it's pretty good. I think
he's stubborn on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's a little.
Dune.
Things are kind of, Shadow's kind of a black or white kind of guy.
I know.
Yeah, but so what? I guess we're kind of winding down on Tron here. So
yeah.
We got a yay or nay for Tron. What's everybody's feelings on it?
It's a yay.
It's a yay. It's good for what it is.
It's one of those that I would recommend to my friends that are computer programmers that they might people for retro, but I'm not going to recommend it to a general audience. Is what I would say. It's not.
A general audience in 1982. No, I think that was the problem. It felt. I think now. They would get it, but now it would seem antiquated to them. But they would get it. But in 1982, we had we were lucky, I guess. We had a Commodore 64 probably almost by this time, so we kind of got some of the lingo and that we were able to pick out as kids and stuff. But general audience, no.
I mean, even nowadays, it's one of those that I would. It's not that I would say it's a bad film. I would just say it's a niche film. It's very. I would consider it more like an art film kind of thing of like, hey, this is what it was back in the day.
and it pushed a new, you know, special effect medium, I guess, too, with this with the CGI.
Yeah.
And I don't know, this watching this now again kind of makes me want to go back and give. I was disappointed with Tron Legacy, but this kind of wants me to give that one a second chance. And I think Tron Legacy, if I'm not wrong, is that the first one that used when they did, you know, they made the younger looking version of the.
Yeah, that's the first one.
That was the first time they started using that. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
My question though, yeah, I agree with Tron. I think you should watch the Legacy and give it another thought processing. But the Dune movie, we're watching the 2018
21, I believe.
21 was it? Wow. Okay, 21.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds awesome. I look forward to that. Now, going back to that bucket really quick, would you say if would using a sock to never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a paw cleaner if you don't have a dirty mind.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen those paw cleaners for dogs.
Well, do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of whenever they talk about the monkey in the gourd. You know, you can reach in, but you can't pull your hand out.
Yeah.
you know, that's the other part too. Is you put your popcorn in, you're like, I can't get my arm.
So we'll do Tron. Not Tron. We did Tron. We'll do Dune, which will be your pick. Then once Shadow, I'm saying Shadow's gone forever, but when he's able to make it back to when his schedule whatever clears up.
Yeah.
And if he still wants to do plenty of dates, then we'll go down that route.
The next movie I'm picking is Predestination, the one I keep harping about.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was the.
No, we're doing Dune next because you want to.
Yeah, but no, I'm not familiar with Predestination. That's why I was.
Yeah. What's the?
You know, and I will admit this much, just so you know, Dune 2021 apparently is fairly slow. But the reason that we're doing this is because the movie comes out. So if you kind of enjoy the visuals and stuff, then you can go see it at the theater and not feel like you're lost.
Right. Yeah. Good idea. That's a good idea. It's a good idea to do that. Yeah, it's a good idea since we're doing sci-fi. And Dune is a pivotal science fiction story as it is, just like
yep.
Planet of the Apes is kind of very important to the sci-fi genre too.
I was about to say we did the original Dune about 2 years ago now, because it was like one of the first movies me and Shadow did, and I looking forward to rewatching the new one again. I liked it once. I remember seeing it once and thinking it was pretty good, so I'm looking forward to that one. Then we'll do Predestination. Gotta find out where I can find. I gotta find where that one's streaming at, or if it's one of those I need to rent. Then that leaves me and Mark. Mark, you have any thoughts?
I'll have to get back to you next week. Just anything that meets our sci-fi criteria, huh? Okay. Yeah, I'll get back to you. I have to think on something.
Mark, just pick something that's fun that you enjoy. I mean, we've mentioned. I put a big list out there somewhere. I'm not sure where it is now, but you have like Terminator. You have a lot of them out there that are
right.
The only thing I ask though is if you're gonna pick a franchise, pick the best one in your opinion of the franchise. Like if we do Terminator, I would pick Terminator 2.
I would pick Terminator 1 only for the reason that it gives you the beginning. So if you like it, then you go to the next one. It's kind of I'm not.
I get that, but 2 is better than the first one.
Oh no.
You don't think so?
No, because part of what I liked about the first one was we're not quite on there. Is I like the fact that the Terminator was breaking down over time, whereas in the new one, it just
was breaking down a little bit, but I give you that.
But the other part is that since you didn't know what was the Terminator, and I still love it where he's you can see where it's going through the list of options of what to say, and it did have that. The other part is don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Terminator 2, but Terminator 1 to me has much more of that feel of you're against an unstoppable monster, but it is breaking down. You know, when he has to repair himself and things like that as he's going through. Whereas the Liquid Terminator, I just felt that I felt it was just too much at a certain point. Is I like it when you feel that they have a chance of stopping the monster, but it's still, you know, you have to run around.
The second one came out. It was with the Liquid Terminator. It was a lot of oh fuck moments, you know, and I think that's why I like it. It was okay.
Yeah.
This thing is not just, you know, bolts and nuts. This thing is actually can, you know,
it's a puzzle most people couldn't conceive, right? So
right,
the escalation was the challenge.
I just can understand, you know, like why did he throw the thing back? It's like, no, if we're going to take off pieces, we'll throw it over. You know, we'll do something with that one piece. But yeah, it's. I also hate saying this. I don't like little kids in movies.
Well, he was a teenager, but
yeah, I have one of those. I don't need it in the movie.
I wanted. All right, couple things. Maybe not this coming month, but here soon. There is a cigar lounge here in my area called Ash Cigar Lounge. And the reason why I bring this up is he will be sponsoring one of my episodes.
Oh, cool!
I will have him, the owner of it. He will use my choice or what. Since we're not fixed on a month, I just let him pick out his one movie, and he will join us on the panel and talk about it. And it will be at the cigar shop. Guy's a great guy. I know a lot of people who watch this who are not local to me, but those who by chance are that like cigars, you really need to check this place out. He's a good people.
So I'm going to ask a question. Does he have, because one of the cigar lounges around here, unfortunately I just don't like smoke, so I don't like going to but you do find the most interesting people in cigar lounges, to be fair.
You really do. Yeah.
And the other part is the, is he going to show whatever movie he picks in the cigar lounge? He's like, hey guys.
Well, probably. I was talking to him about it. He probably will have a movie night there of everybody watching the movie.
Oh, cool. So cool.
Yeah.
Make it kind of an event, and then he can come in and talk about it and how, we can hear, he can plug his, I know that you're doing it, but that he can plug it and then say, what was great about it. And that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Predestination, Dune 2021. I don't know if Mark has this. It's on HBO.
You know what? I'm gonna pick. I want to do the time machine for my pick, but that's what I was gonna ask you. Yeah, I mean I'm partial to the 1960.
Yeah, let's do the 1960s.
Or if you the 2010 one or 2000 whatever that one came out, I don't remember as being that good, but. If you want to, guys want to do it because it's newer and you want to take a second look at it, maybe it was better than what we thought. I don't know, but myself is kind of partial to the classic 1961. But
1960.
Yeah, let's do the 1961. I mean, because
okay.
I mean, we're trying to do all this stuff, but let's be honest. A lot of this was. For our aspect, originally, kind of the idea was to get Jackie to watch some of these old movies that he wouldn't be able to see. And, I don't think I've ever watched it without commercials because it always
does that meet our list though? Justin,
time travel.
Time travel. It's funny I'm just fucking with you earlier, man.
Okay.
I was
the whole point of it was to keep shadow on Jet.
You picked Time Machine because there was a part of me thinking about picking a Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure.
Again?
But since Time Machine's already been, I want to stick with that one because I wasn't completely sold on the set though of doing Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure.
Okay, so if we do Dune next week, and then my movie and Mark's movie are both time travel movies, so we might as well go with a theme and make it Bill and Ted's
Bogus Adventure.
Yeah,
whatever. Well, I mean, do you want to put Bill and Ted's on the Bogus Adventure? Because you've got that one, and then or. You know what? We could do a comedy, space comedy. Because I still, at some point, just because of tongue in cheek, at some point, I'd like to do Space Invaders.
Yeah,
it's up to you.
Hold on, let me think. Time Machine.
We should do one of them. We should do Leprechaun, the Leprechaun movie where he's in outer space.
Oh,
fuck.
Sometime around April, we'll start doing the Fools movies.
You know what? That might be a good thing to do is in April, do like you said, the April Fools movies, which are just kind of completely ridiculous.
Yeah, a bunch of like the Jason in space, Leprechaun
Yeah.
space.
Hey, Mark, the requirement though is Connell has to dress up as a leprechaun.
You
Irish.
You can kiss the darkest part of my white ass.
All
right.
I go blind before I do that.
Hellraiser in space.
Then we'll do Bill and Ted's Bogus Adventure for mine. And that will wrap that up. Then we're done.
Then we'll have the next cycle.
Even if Cheryl's able to join us, even April for this next one, Planet of the Apes is still somewhat considered a time traveling movie because he went into the future.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it works.
If we're gonna do that one, then you know what I'm gonna do is after we do Dune, then when it comes back around for me, is I'll just include Terminator because there's your time machine, and we can put that at the very end.
Yeah.
That'll work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
now, Connell, you were asking about the movie I picked from the IMDb page. It looks like it's on Amazon.
Okay, I'll figure a way to watch
Prime
it.
or whatever.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm going to hit the high seas, so I don't really care where it is.
Okay. I do know I want to do. After we'll do that here pretty soon. I want to do a Godzilla movie.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? I guess that would count as an alien.
Well, if we use King of Monsters, because the three-headed dragon was a thing for space.
Oh no, that's fine. Well, some of it is we're just trying to have, a lot of this is just to have fun, and then what's good for a game. That's the other thing. For a game, that's the one question we forgot. Sorry about interrupting, Cal. Yeah. If you were going to put this in an RPG, how would you do it? Or how would this fit in your RPG?
Well, if it was a cyberpunk game, you could do it as like a one-shot, like corporate greed gone awry kind of story. Almost beat for beat, but your players have more than one user.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would kind of, if I was to do this in a campaign, I would kind of do the 1980s Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. Make it, because this is a video game. It doesn't have to be Tron. It just has to be a video game. So you got like the Golden Gauntlet video game that was out there. I do some variation of that.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. But that's a good question. But yeah, I'd probably go that route. I'm always a big fan of sticking with what you know.
No, that's fine. I would probably do, like you said, as Cyberpunk or Shadowrun, where this comes into it.
Yeah, not necessarily those specific games, but that theme. Yeah, but those games obviously hit that theme. So,
I got nothing else. I think we covered all of our bases. Thank you, Mark, for picking this movie out. I think we need to start picking movies that we're all arguing for 2 hours about, because realistically, 2-hour shows really only became like an hour and 30 minutes the last couple ones.
So that's fine.
Well, some of it is Mark came in a little late and we started.
Oh, no, it's not. But when we show up, it's just the moment the show begins and the moment the show ends. If we pick movies, and I'm not saying that the show that is a huge echo chamber, because there's definitely been movies where we've completely disagree with each other. But it just here recently, it seems like we've been hitting good ones where we're like, oh yeah, that was a great film. Plus, Jack's not here for me to argue with for half an hour.
Well, but the other part is we are trying to pick good films. We're not trying to pick the worst of the worst and laugh about it with the the Battle Wizard, which actually I still enjoyed, but it was so bad. I enjoyed it. That one was it was just, that was Mystery Science Theater 3000 level bad.
There are times, and don't get me wrong, I love Jack, but there was definitely times where I was about thinking, no, you cannot pick a movie you found in a dollar bin. But I wasn't, I wasn't gonna browbeat him too bad over that shit. But once again, great movie. It was fun to watch, even though I had to take some ibuprofen because the movie gave me a damn headache because of all the damn red. But going to Target gives me the same effect, so it is what it is.
You can go into your television and turn the chroma down, right?
No, I'm sure, I'm sure you're right, but no, I don't know how to do that.
Well, there's this website called YouTube.
Yeah, no, really.
You just type into the bar at the top, how do I turn chroma down on my TV?
So, Justin, what you got coming on this week?
Well, I'm gonna probably play Shadow's D&D game tomorrow.
It's tonight.
Yeah, tonight. Tonight. That would be tonight. In an hour or two.
Yeah.
Probably should eat something between now and then. Normally I eat at 5.
Well, you know what? You can go get another cake, Justin.
Oh, cake! I don't have time to bake one.
So yeah, but last time, remember, they just gave you like 2/3 of a cake or whatever.
Yeah.
It must have been Sunday night, and they're like, "Look, we're gonna toss this, so we'll just give it to."
No, it was one of my neighbors.
Okay. Sorry.
She gave me cake.
No, this was like a foot square of cake.
Yeah, it was huge. He was like, "Oh my god!" Apparently ate like 2/3.
Don't you have something with Hungar every so often?
Me? Oh yeah. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon. There's a show over on Hungar's channel. I'm on there, bearing anything not going wrong.
Not in the hospital.
Yeah, or I finally get some sleep.
I'm going to mention this much. Mark has been playing in Bo's game and EL Geek's game.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Well, he watched my character die, but which I feel so bad. Like but then part of me just went, all right.
You deserved it.
What's that?
You deserved it.
I didn't think so. That's why I was kind of like, but anyway,
you didn't have an avatar, so.
Oh well, that's fine. That's for you, Justin. There we go. But
there's no picture there.
Whoa, you mean like? Hold on. This picture?
Yeah, like that picture.
I'm sorry. It was the, but no, there was the other. I play in Shadow's game, but since my character can't advance because we only had 5 days and he didn't give us 7 to actually level up, I'm like, I'm just going to take this week off so I can do some other stuff anyway. But yeah. I mean, I might come in as like a red shirt, basically come in, let my character die. I'm cool with that. But the Mark, have you been playing in the other games?
Yeah, I got a bi-weekly usually bi-weekly 5e game that's kind of to me it's kind of breaking down because
5e
we're at like 10th level, 11th level now, and it's just combat takes forever, everything takes forever, and then I got not everybody knows all the rules real well, and then we had a combat with like a young blue dragon. It must have taken almost 2 hours to get through the combat. It's just
wow.
It's getting to be a slog to me. And then I'm also playing. This is a lot of fun. We're still kind of learning the rules, but we're playing an Alien RPG, the Alien game RPG.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. I don't know how that game would work for like a long ongoing campaign, but for like a shorter, maybe half a dozen sessions or adventures like that. It seems like a lot of fun, but I don't know about a long-going campaign, how that would work for Alien.
It's supposed to be for that one, as they even say this in the book, is you're not supposed to, if you're going to play a campaign, you're not really supposed to meet the alien until much later. That was one.
Right.
But no, you're playing the cinematic version, which
yep.
Which is what, 3 to 6 sessions to go through one of those. That's probably yeah. Are you playing Chariot of the Gods or Destroyer of Worlds, or do you know what?
He said the guy who said it said it's like the starter one that was in
Chariot of the Gods.
Came with the Probably, yeah. It's fun. It's been fun.
The starter set's awesome too. Anyone that wants to get the Alien RPG, Free League starter sets are good values. I know that Connell said he liked Dragonbane from what was there.
I do like Morkborg.
Yeah, but is that really written by Free League, or is that one of those that they did with someone else?
I don't know. They got a game designer and an artist together and told them to make the game for them or something like that.
Okay. The problem I have with Morkborg is they did the artwork. It's like Connell talking about the red. I just can't take it. And
go on the website. The
Justin, I have too many BX games. Morkborg is just another game to me, so it's very similar. It follows very similar rules, so it's just not. And by the way, it says once you get through the campaign, you're supposed to burn the book, doesn't it?
Well, nobody does.
Oh, I know, but that's
all the rules of the books.
It's not a rule. The book is deliberately edgy.
Yeah,
because like the first page gives you a list of heavy black metal albums you should listen to.
I know. It just felt when I looked at it, I was like, you know what? I'd rather just stick with OSE. Like I said, I've been doing the Axe stuff and reading that. Holy hell!
But like you said, Axe 2 is 1,500 pages. This is 78.
I know. Well, Axe 2 is meant for, this will be the last BX game you ever need. Kind of. And about the player's handbook, about half of it is including. I mean, it's one thing when you have character options, but about half of it is domain play, which most players will never get to, and so you can kind of ignore that. It has everything a world builder needs. The judges one gives you a lot of options, which is cool. How to build spells, which is something I always like to see in a game. And then, of course, you have the monster manual, which is always great. You always need more monsters. There's never enough monsters. Even though you may never meet one of those monsters, you want to have like half a bajillion monsters in there. I agree with Justin. You know what? Just keep bringing them out. That's why D&D did so well with Theme Folio, Monster Manual 2, and the original Monster Manual. I'm not sure we even met everything in the original Monster Manual. Then we like, oh, look, we got Monster Manual 2.
Yeah, honestly, I'd like a monster manual should be more of like an art book with a stat block next to it.
Yes, I agree. Okay, thanks, 5e. No, I actually, that's the one thing that happened with Iron Kingdoms, the one that they did in their system that matched their miniature game line. I thought that they did a really great job for the art in there, and I wish more did it. I know that some people like the really little thin things, but anyone that read the Dragon magazines and the ecology of, that was great. I really enjoyed the fact that the ecologies they used to have in the Dragon magazines. But okay. Anyway, Connell, what games are you playing?
Sorry, what was the question?
What games are you playing? I mean, we asked everyone else.
Tomorrow I have a 5e campaign. It's a mod podge of a couple different books put together, but the DM who is running it has been doing it I've been playing for the last 4 years. I trust his thought processing. And except for the fact that he wants to run 5e, but whatever. So I got that going on. And this coming Saturday, I have another campaign going on, which is Versus.
Aren't you playing the Warhammer campaign, or did that?
That game is spotty. I haven't dropped it because when he's actually able to run, the games are great. It's just he's got a lot of family issues going on right now. For example, like the entire house, him, his wife, his son-in-law, and his daughter all got COVID at the same time.
Okay.
Tends to be how it goes.
Yeah, so there's been some issues.
But no, that's funny. I was just checking, and it was.
I was wondering, since we're talking, you said monsters and all that. I'm thinking, now would Pacific Rim count as a sci-fi movie? Because those
aliens.
Yeah, interdimensional aliens are still aliens.
Yeah, aliens are aliens. If you want to do the kaiju, I'd rather watch that one than one of the one of the Godzilla ones.
I was going to do King Kong versus.
I still enjoyed that one. King Kong versus Godzilla.
Honestly, that was the route I was thinking about. It
still has a robot in there too. It has a robot, so it means
the argument is, what part of this is sci-fi under the list? Well, can't do this one, can't do Godzilla because they all come from the Earth or Middle Earth. I mean, the center of the Earth. So that one's
they come from Middle Earth.
I will say this one. I will say this much, and I forgot about Dune, but at least King Kong. What was it? Godzilla versus King Kong or King Kong versus Godzilla, whichever it was.
Kong versus King, Godzilla versus whatever.
Yeah. But it was exactly what the title said, and I felt like I got exactly what the movie was. What I went for the movie.
I'm right there with you. That was part of the reason why I love Cocaine Bear.
I still want to see Frodo fighting Godzilla.
Why does this remind me of Bambi versus Godzilla? If anyone's seen that cartoon,
no, I haven't. But you gotta.
Wait a minute, go watch it. Go watch it. It will take you about 30 seconds, Justin.
Guys, I am going to be that spoiled son wanting the inheritance, and I'm pulling the plug.
Bambi versus
y'all, thank you for showing up. Omanal, Justin. Mark, as always, it's a pleasure. You talk way too much as is, though. I just want you to know that.
Yeah.
I think you got maybe 7, 8 words out today. I look forward to doing this with you guys next week. Remember, it is the new Dune movie, not the old Dune movie, but the new one. Well, sort of new. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
Last 3 years is pretty good, actually, when you think about it. Actually, it's about, 2.5 years?
I said this last night in Shadow's program. I like the new one over the old one because there's no angry sand vagina that travels in space. It was just weird.
The mouth of the butterfly thing.
I'm like, what the hell?
The Navigator? The Navigator?
Yeah, the Navigator. If anything, the thing just, like, I was about ready to have a sandwich. I'm like, nope, I'm good.
Yeah, well, that's the point, right? The point is that the Navigators are supposed to be so mutated they're nightmare fuel. But
all right, everybody out there in chat, thank you for putting out with us in our shenanigans. Yes, this is a movie review channel. Yes, we kind of get to the movie from time to time. We do talk about it. Ideally want a movie out there that you will enjoy and we will enjoy. And if we can put that movie into a RPG setting, a not philosophical, but let's sit down and actually think about what they were going with this movie and how some of the old movies like Casablanca are still better than some of the new movies with more money.
I still prefer the remake of Casablanca, Barbed Wire.
Is that the Mel Gibson movie?
No,
it's Pamela Anderson. He just wants the boobs. That's all.
Oh yeah, I remember that movie barely. I can't see where you say it's a reboot. I'll give you that.
The story is literally Casablanca.
Sure. Yeah. So with that being said, I hope everybody out there has a good evening. Remember, there are 29 days this month. So for those who think that there's only 28 and your first paycheck will be coming on the 1st, you still have one more day to wait. Happy leap year. To the people who decide to get married on leap years on February 29th, I know a few of you fuckers. Congratulations. Happy anniversary. And to everybody else, who fucking cares? Y'all take it out.
Taco Bell. Party on.